I have a Netflix comedy special coming out. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very soon, you guys. Very soon. I just have like 1,000 more hours of manifesting to do.
Isn't giving birth a total out-of-body experience? Like, get the fuck out of my body. And then they come out and you realize how terrible this world is, and you're like, I changed my mind, get back in there. The way that I learned that you could choose a parenting style was when a mom asked me if I use progressive parenting, and I said, oh no, I'm with Geico. You know, parents, they always say they don't have a favorite child. They're lying. My son is my favorite. Because he loved my titties. He ate that shit up. I was never really into trying recreational drugs, but breastfeeding was my crack. Why didn't somebody warn me that my baby would become my drug dealer? I have this problem where, like, on the outside, I'm 37. And on the inside, in my head, I'm still 23. And now you understand why I'm dressed like a Long Island prostitute. Oldest kid is about to turn 5, and when I think of her turning 5, I think to myself, damn, I cannot believe that I survived being a teen mom. There are so many offensive words for postmenopausal women. Dried up, old maid, hag, Ann Coulter. But for men, it's like so much more flattering, like silver fox, zaddy, George Clooney, of beekeeping age.
You know how, like, when you go to a club or a bar and you're like, if you're really vibing with the bartender, he'll take a shot with you? Like, why can't pharmacists do that? You know? Like, if I'm like really vibing with a patient, you know, I want to be like at the pharmacy counter, be like, okay, that's 1 Xanny for you, and 2 for me. How many people here are in tech? Tech world, yeah, that's what I thought. Yes, pretty much everybody here. I am not in tech, and mostly everybody that I know that I'm friends with is not in tech. And I'd hate to say this, but everybody hates you. Yeah, they blame you for everything. They blame you for the homeless crisis, for gentrifying the city, for jacking up the rent. But not me, you guys, not me. I defend y'all. I defend you. I say, hey, are the techies turning San Francisco into an iRobot, Westworld, Terminator situation? Yeah. But they have all the money. And money is power. And so at some point, we're just gonna have to bend over and take it. Which is exactly what I did. I married one. Oh, we have 3 kids. But I feel blessed. I feel so blessed to be here instead of at home with them. So thank you.
My third baby is going to be turning 11 months old. Wow. And that baby bitch tried to cut me off at 2 months. We were doing our usual torture tango. You know, I'm like forcing her mouth open and trying to clamp it on my engorged boob. You know, she's screaming, she doesn't want it. All of a sudden, like, milk starts coming out like I'm a fucking sprinkler. I'm like, take it, suck it, suck it. And she's like, yeah, yeah. And so finally, just like frustrated, anxious, depressed, ragey, I yelled, fuck you! And the room goes silent. And I think to myself, did I just yell, fuck you, to my newborn baby? And my baby thinks, did that bitch just yell, fuck you to me? So a lot of people ask me what the biggest challenge is co-parenting 3 small children. And I would have to say it would be my husband's bowel movements. Like the other day, I shit you not, he came out of the bathroom limping. That's how long he had been sitting on his porcelain throne. It did not bother me before, but now it has become a hazard to my health. Like, when do I get to poop? Do I need to invest in a colostomy bag? This is why dads get the reputation of being the cool parent. Yeah, I'm the cool dad. I'm chill. Yeah, I'm so fun. Yeah. Yeah, because you're not fecally impacted. Meanwhile, I'm walking around with a piece of poop lodged on my rectum so long it has become petrified. I am literally walking around with a stick up my ass. That is where the term comes from. It comes from being a mom. I never understood the scene in Jurassic Park where they're all sitting in the Jeep staring in horror at the hungry T-Rex when Newman decides, hey, you know what? This feels like a good time to run over to that porta potty and take a dump. It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense, you guys. My husband is Newman, and I am the T-Rex. This also explains why my top 2 fitness goals are to have a giant ass and dainty little arms.
My husband and I, we waited a while to have kids. And hell hath no fury, like a desi mama who wants to be a grandmama. She would give me baby clothes with absolutely no explanation. I'd be like, what is this? Why are you giving me a onesie that says I have the world's best grandma on it? Oh, she wasn't the only one. My aunt and uncle, whenever they would visit from India, they would bring prasad with them. Prasad is food that's been blessed at the temple. They would bring it only for me. I thought it was because I was their favorite. Until one day, I told them I was pregnant, and they went, "Ay, Bhagwan, thank God it finally worked." 4 years, my uterus was being blessed without my consent. I grew up in a very conservative, Christian, white Mormon town, but I was raised by very strict, traditional Indian immigrants. So what that means was my life was basically Fight Club. At a moment's notice, I could pivot from singing Bollywood songs to angsty teen music. Bole chudiya, bole kangana, cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Lecha, lecha, oh Sonia, lecha, like suffocation, no breathing, don't give a... Yeah. I have the body type of, let's call it a sexy pencil. Like no curves, just like... So what that means is, I wasn't like getting hit on, you know what I mean? Like, because this is like hourglass figure is more the thing. So the feminist in me is afraid to admit this, but a little part of me just like wanted to get hit on like just once. Would that be so bad? So like there was this one time I was walking my dog and we were crossing the street and I heard this guy whistle at me. And I'm like, okay. And then, I look at him and we make eye contact and he goes, hey, nice dog. And then another time, I was taking the Muni home. It was late at night, and there was this guy on the bus who was by no means attractive, but also not homeless. And he kept staring at me. So I'm thinking, okay, my dog is not here. So does he think I'm hot? So we get to my stop, and I get off, and he gets off too. So at this point, I'm like half scared, half searching for my pepper spray, half expecting him to ask me for my number. And I walk a little bit, he follows me, and then he finally speaks. And he says, damn, girl, yo ass is so tiny. If I had a butt that small, I wouldn't be able to poop. So I thought about it. And I thought, you know what? Fuck it. Time to get knocked up. Cause pregnancy makes your boobs and butt bigger, right? And it's way cheaper and less invasive than plastic surgery. Minor detail, you do have to stay pregnant forever, which I was doing a good job of, which reminds me, I think it's time for baby number 4. It's fine, right? Child labor is legal now, right? Right? Okay, worst case, I'll get him deported. It's cool.
I have 3 kids, and some of you may be wondering, if I'm here, who's watching them? And I too am wondering the same thing. So on the outside, I'm 37, but on the inside in my head, I'm 23. And now you know why I look like Zoe Deschanel circa 2010. My youngest, she just turned 1. I had a nightmare that overnight I blinked and she was a fully grown adult, like 21, just like a big, big adult. You guys, it was so scary. I woke up in like this drenched in this cold sweat. I was hyperventilating. I was terrified at the thought of being 20 years older. So scary.
I'm very vain. It may not look like it, but I care a lot about my appearance. In fact, I'm so vain that if you ask me how I feel about getting cosmetic procedures done, I would tell you I'm against it. I'm against it because I don't want to be now pretty. I'm planning ahead. I want to be post-tariff pretty, okay? I don't want to be walking around looking like a cue ball because my extensions fell out. I don't want to be walking around with little nubs for teeth because my veneers fell out. I don't want to be walking around with lips that look like a cross between 2 deflated balloons and an enlarged labia because I can't get fillers.
Like, you guys have seen Christina Aguilera, like Lindsay Lohan. I mean, what the fuck? Like, they look younger than they did 20 years ago. It's proof that we're not all ugly. We're just poor. Until my plan A of becoming a rich and famous comedian pans out, I will be selling plan B. You guys don't respect us, but we could air all your dirty laundry. Next time some asshole comes up to the counter and yells at me for his copay going up, I'm gonna lose my shit. You're gonna see me like bust through my white coat like fucking She-Hulk. He's gonna be walking around the pharmacy buying his juice and cookies, and all of a sudden he's gonna hear on like the overhead speaker, "Attention, Chad Microdick Lockhart. Please return to the pharmacy to pick up your Valtrex for your genital herpes." I have a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 5-year-old. That is the appropriate response. We do have this problem. Where on the outside, I'm 37. Oh, I'm just waiting for y'all to go, no, you look so young. All right. Oh, thank you. Stop it. I am a drug dealer. That's right. Yeah. Come check out my street corner over on Turk. I'll give you a couple Xannies on the house. That's right. Yeah. Most specifically, my street corner, I work at the Walgreens pharmacy on the Turk Street. Yeah. I'm a pharmacist. I am also a mom, and I am so happy to be here with all of you instead of my dumb children. Yes.